your left there, I can see that saddle-billed stork getting its name from the saddle it has on its bill. It's a little yellow thing on there. It's a fairly antisocial bird. It actually communicates in an interesting way, though. Instead of tweeting or chirping or squawking, it actually chatters its bill a little bit. It kind of sounds like a hollow clapping sound. On your left there, you can also see the black rhino. There's only about 5,000 of those guys left in the wild, making them extremely endangered. As the sun sets, we're making our way into the Safi River zone. The Safi River is home to a couple of beautiful animals known as the Nile hippopotamus and the Nile crocodile. Now, which of the two do you think is the more dangerous of the two, the hippo or the crocodile? Hippo. Hippo, that's right, it's the most dangerous animal in Africa. Now, Nile hippopotamuses, they can run about 30 miles per hour on land, are extremely territorial, and eat about 80 to 90 pounds of food every day. They spend most of their days underwater, only coming up every 8 minutes to get a fresh breath of air. I see a group of them over here. Now, a group of hippopotamuses are not known as a pack or a herd or anything like that. They're known as a bloat of hippopotamuses. On the left there, those large birds sitting on that little island there, one just yawning for us. That's the pink-backed pelican. They may be thinking, hey, those look kind of white and black to me, they don't look pink at all. Well, you'd be correct. They only turn pink during mating season, which is where they get their name from. And here we are on the Serengeti. It looks like the sun is setting here on the Serengeti. Over on the right here, you're going to see some Ankoli cattle. Ankoli cattle are actually known also as Watusi cattle, named after the Watusi tribe that domesticated them many years ago. They're also known as the Egyptian longhorn, and you may be noticing how long those horns actually are. They're about 3 to 4 feet in length. They can be up to 20 inches in diameter, or not diameter, excuse me, circumference. They are hollow, so they're not heavy at all. They're actually vascular, meaning that they have blood that runs through them. They're actually used as a cooling unit. And these guys on the right here, these are Patterson's eland, the largest of the antelope in all of Africa. Now, both male and female have horns, which is incredibly rare for antelope. How do you tell the two apart? Actually, you have a good spot there of how you can tell them apart. That large one right there, that's the male. These other ones right here are all female. Looks like one's going to cross the road here. Of course, here in Africa, animals do have the right of way. Now, coming up on your right, this large herd of animals as well is the wildebeest. Wildebeest actually comes from Afrikaans, which means wild beast. For the native Africans, they know them as something completely different. They're known as gnu, spelled G-N-U. It actually comes from the sound that they like to make. Sounds kind of like a domestic cow mooing. And you may have noticed these kind of red rock formations here on the Serengeti. These are termite mounds made of dung, dirt, and clay, and even saliva. They're about as hard as rock, as cement, excuse me. Elephants like to use them and actually use them as back scratchers. These guys here on the right, these are water buck. They get their name from the way that they actually hang around watering holes. If you can kind of notice, they kind of have a shiny, sort of oily substance on their skin. They actually use that to make themselves waterproof. So when predators actually come around the watering holes, they can dive in. Predators can't get to them. And they get to hang around their habitat for a little bit longer. Over here on the left, this is a Maasai giraffe. You can see a baby one all the way in the back there. These guys are the tallest land animal, reaching about 18 to 20 feet in length. Excuse me. An average newborn calf is 6 feet tall. And they get the name Maasai after the jagged sort of broken pattern that they have on their pelt there. Actually, every 2 giraffes' pelts are not the same. Kind of like how you and I have a unique fingerprints or thumbprints. They have a very unique pattern on them. And on your left here, coming up, I see a herd of elephants. Elephants aren't very endangered. In fact, the greatest threat to elephants are humans. They are poached for their beautiful ivory tusks. And on your left here are some greater flamingos. Greater actually means bigger. Now, do you guys know what a group of flamingos are called? It's actually a flamboyance of flamingo. Why is pink of all the flamingo getting their light pink hue from their diet of brine shrimp? You know what? I'm not actually sure about that. On your left there is a white rhino. Oh, it's hard to see right now, but he's actually not white at all. Actually, it gets that name from the word vite, which in Afrikaans means wide. Speaking of big cats, I see a Kopi rock formation, and at the top of it, I see a male lion. These guys actually sleep about 16 to 20 hours out of the day. Can you see him up there?
Oh, right there.
In the nighttime, our sense of sight is very important. However, our sense of hearing is just as important. And sometimes, here in these evenings, you can hear them communicating. Right there on the left, ladies and gentlemen, you have 2 female lions. They actually do all the hunting while the male actually does all the watching. One of the grazing animals right here, actually. That's the addax on the right side.
Now, would a lion kill one of those?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
Hey guys, if we have any wilderness explorers on board, you were right, the Simba one today. And speaking of Swahili, here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye because it's much too sad and much too final. We like to use a Swahili term that means to go well.